Today we're going to find surface area of a cylinder or prism, and first thing I want to mention is this is the procedure I want you to use. Most people who mess up on surface area don't want to go through all this stuff. They just want to write an answer and not go through the process. Every one of these steps needs to be followed. And the first job is to draw the two-dimensional base. In the past I didn't have people do that, but I found they weren't being able to find these two things properly from the three-dimensional figure. So draw the two-dimensional base. It might be a square, rectangle, triangle, it might be some kind of a mixture of those figures. It'll be something like we've been doing already in chapter 4, or I guess chapter 2 and 8 I believe is where we did perimeter and area. But step 2 is to find the area. We're going to call the area B for area of base. We're going to find the perimeter and call it P. So both of these here, steps 2 and 3, come directly from the two-dimensional base. So we're going to identify the area and perimeter of that base. We're going to call those B and P. B will equal something, P will equal something numerically. Then we're going to find the height of the three-dimensional cylinder prism. It'll either be on the picture, the 3D picture, whatever separates the two-dimensional bases. So cylinders and prisms have a base and it has an identical twin base. So however far apart those bases are, whether they're vertically positioned or horizontally positioned, the distance between them is the height of the cylinder or prism. If it's not in a 3D picture, if they've only drawn a 2D picture, chances are it will be in the words. It'll say, find the surface area of a prism 10 feet high. So it'll be like that. And we're going to call that H. So once we know what B equals, what P equals, and H equals, we have this formula here. Tells us to double the area of the base, multiply perimeter and height, and then add those together. This is multiplication, this is multiplication. Order of operations says multiply first. So we're going to get these two products first and then add those two products together to get the answer. So example 1, find the surface area of this right rectangular prism. Dimensions are in centimeters. It's drawn three-dimensionally on this paper. If you wanted to draw in some dotted lines to represent what it looks like going back, there's going to be this line coming up out like that, and across like so, and then up like so, something like that. If you want to get that three-dimensional look more like it. What I would need you to visualize on this is what the base is. Now with a rectangular solid, the base could be the bottom, it could be the front, it could be the right, left, it could be anything you want it to be. For the sake of this problem, I'm going to say that the rectangle here and also here, those matching rectangles, I'm going to call that the base. So what I want your paper to look like on these problems, I'm going to put a box here to represent a homework box. First thing I would do is I would draw a rectangle to represent this base. I'm going to probably write the word base inside of it, just to remind myself that's what it is. Looking at the picture, I can see that the length and width of the rectangle are 3 and 4. So that's job 1, to do that. And again, a lot of people don't want to do that. They say, oh, I can find the area of a rectangle without drawing that picture. It's a habit. You want to form good habits here on these problems. So step 1, draw what the base looks like. Step 2, you want to find the area of that base, area of a rectangle. Since that's a rectangle, we use the area of rectangle formula. 4 times 3 is equal to 12. The perimeter of a rectangle requires us to add all 4 sides. 4, 3, this opposite side is 3, this opposite side is 4. If I add them all up, 4 plus 4 plus 3 plus 3 is 14. And finally, step 4 is to find the three-dimensional height. So I've established this rectangle on the bottom is the base, the rectangle on top is also the base. They're equal, identical twin bases. The distance separating those two bases is the height. We always get the height from the three-dimensional picture. People who do this wrong a lot of times see this going up and down. They think that is height. That's the flat surface of the bottom. The height is actually going up and connecting the two bases. Height always connects the two bases. Once I've established the value of those 3 numbers, I apply the surface area formula. Surface area equals 2 times B plus P times H. Now one thing I will recommend to everybody at this point in time, if you have to look the formula up, if you had to look back on that note sheet to see what the formula was, anytime you have to look a formula up, I'd recommend writing it down. The more you rehearse it, the more you will remember it. So surface area is equal to 2 times 12 plus 14 times 2, 2b plus ph. This 2 is just a magical 2 that's always there. B is 12, P is 14, H is 2. So all the other three numbers came from these pieces here. So surface area equals product first, 2 times 12 is 24. Product first, 14 times 2 is 28. And then 24 plus 28 is equal to 52. And then the final thing is to put the proper unit on your answer. It says dimensions are in centimeters, so we're going to put centimeters squared. Area is always in units squared. So 52 square centimeters is the correct answer.